Hey guys, what's up and welcome to another vlog. Today we're kind of doing something a bit, I guess, strange. We're going to be making a oil catch can for the diff of my car. And I'm sure most of you are kind of going, huh? Why would you need an oil catch can for the diff? And before you judge me, just wait till a little bit later in the video and you'll hear me out. So we're heading to the local hardware store around the corner from my house, which is called Unidi here in Japan, this particular chain of hardware stores. And we're just gonna get some parts. They're really cheap and easy. So if you guys end up at the end of this video wanting to put a catch can on your diff, you can do the same thing just by going to your local hardware store. All right, so here we are. Hopefully we'll find everything we need. We really only need 3 items, but I've already got one of them, so I just need 2. So let's go. So here's the first thing on our shopping list. A nice little container that's going to collect all of the oil coming out of the diff. And this one's pretty good because it actually gives you measurements on the side here, so you can know how much, I guess, oil is coming out of your diff. So that's a good little indicator there to know if you need to top her up. And we'll grab that. Okay, so here's the other thing that we need to get, and that is some, I guess, like plastic flexi kind of hosing. And this stuff here, this is a 5mm inside diameter one. This is the perfect size for going over the venting tube on the back of the diff hat. Now I'm gonna get 3 meters of this. I'll have to get a staff member to cut that for me because that's what it says here, not to do it yourself. So I'll get a staff member to cut me 3 meters of this. I'm just getting a little bit extra than what I think I need because just in case, you know, it's good to have extra rather than not enough. And then the other thing you need if you don't already have it is zip ties. So if you got those 3 items, you can make yourself a diff oil catch can. So anyways, we're gonna get that and then we'll meet you guys back at the house. All right, so let me show you guys why I need a catch can for this thing here. Now, the whole issue I've been having is, I'm not sure how well you can see it on the camera because I've cleaned it up as best as I can, but it's been leaking here again lately, are all these little oil stains here. And then if you look up here, it's a whole bunch of oil all along here and up along this kind of chassis rail here, right? All of that is diff oil. How the hell is the diff oil getting here? Well, the factory vent for the Skyline and S chassis diffs is all the way up and in there, which you can't see, of course, which goes to a venting tube that then kind of connects up in here to the side of the chassis rail, and the oil drips down out of these holes all along here. Now, why is that happening? That is because diff is full of oil, and as the diff is getting used, everything heats up. And when things heat up, it expands as well as oil's getting slapped around. It's gonna get little bits and drops and stuff of it are gonna get pushed out of the vent when I'm using it at the track and drifting with it and things like that. So it's something you can't really avoid. It's always gonna happen. So what I can do to stop it from leaking everywhere, because this happens like, seriously, at the track, you will see little pools of diff oil at the back of everyone's car if they don't have a diff catch can. So I was talking to Oka-chan about it and he was just like, yeah, Sam, just set up a catch can. It's super easy. And he showed me how he does his. And I was like, all right, I'll just do that then. Save myself a big hassle. So that's what I'm gonna do. Before I get started on making the catch can itself and running the line is I'm gonna clean up all this oil with some brake cleaner and some shop rags. Once that's all clean, I'll then get into the making the actual catch can itself.
Okay, so hopefully I can show you guys this and you can see it all. It's gotten really dark. I've been busy all day working on stuff, but if I put the light up and in here, maybe you can see it better. You can see the venting tube that I've fed over the top of the subframe into the venting port on the top of the diff hat there, and I've put a zip tie around there to stop it from slipping off. And then the hose comes over down here, along here. I still need to clean up some more oil that's everywhere. It's like all oil and rubber. Goes up into there, and then once I get up and into the boot, I'll show you what I've done there, which you all would have seen in the time lapse hopefully. The tube comes out down here, up along here, goes into the top of the bottle here, and I can see how full it is here because this is kind of a see-through bottle and it's got the markings there, how much is in there. And on the inside of the cap where I drilled the hole, I also put a zip tie on the tube to stop it from pulling out. So that's my diff oil catch can sorted out. Now the reason why you mount it up here is so that you know, the oil does have a chance to go back into the diff, but this is just what happens. I'm sure a lot of you guys, if you're at the track racing and drifting, you guys know this issue all too well about your diff leaving oil there. I also ripped out the factory vent hose that just goes into like that frame, the chassis frame there, that then just leaks oil everywhere. So I've got that pulled out of there, and now what I'm going to do is actually clean this mess up. And then I'm going to head inside and I've got to edit a few videos and schedule them on the YouTube channel for you guys. Okay, so it's actually a few days later now, and we've actually got another issue that we're going to quickly work on, and it's oil leak related, which is like the thing I fear the most in my car. But the Diff Catchcan, I haven't been able to put it to the test yet, see if it works, and that's because I haven't been to a drift event yet. There's one happening next week, which I'll be at, so I'll get to test it then. Just general driving around the street doesn't really do it. It's really only when I'm like limiter bashing and on, you know, spinning the tires and the diff's actually working really hard. But for now, we've actually got a pretty big issue that we need to look at today, and we need to fix it because this is the type of oil leak that's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse over time. And I'm really glad I caught it when I did, before it started leaving stains anywhere and ended up with me dumping all my oil on track again. Anyways, let me show you what it is. Okay, so it looks like my fears have come back to haunt me. It's oil filter related again. The oil lines that come off the block here, where they then connect into the oil filter relocation block here. It looks like one of the O-rings is pinched or something. And at certain oil pressure, at high oil pressure, like I had it running before and I revved up the car and you could see a little bit kind of dripping out. So I'm gonna fix that, but the first thing I need to do is obviously clean everything. Hopefully you guys can't hear that angle grinding noise. There's a guy up on that like garage roof there who's doing some I don't know, maintenance work or something. I think they're replacing the roof. But yeah, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clean everything, get this removed and stuff, and see what the go is and try to fix it, put it all back together, and monitor the situation, make sure it doesn't keep leaking. So we'll do that. Okay, so all finished now. Got the fittings and everything all back together. Everything's kind of clean as well. Like I've cleaned up everything best I can there. It's very difficult for me to get to the subframe where a bit of oil is settled on, so I'll just try to get in there with the rag later. But the issue was an O-ring. I had to replace this O-ring here. As you can see, it definitely got pinched there, and because of that pinch, when it was under high pressure, it just wasn't holding, and it would just spray oil out. So that's what the leak was. So luckily I've got this O-ring kit here, and I just matched up the O-ring. It was one of these guys. Put that on there, and I also put some ultra grey on the threads as well to kind of help them help it seal even more. So that should be good. But I've made a very big mess under here, as you can see. All the oil was like leaking through on the inside of the wheel arch here as well, so I've been cleaning all of that up, and there's still a bit in there that I need to get to, but otherwise everything's all kind of finished now. So crisis averted. Glad that I found this before my next drift event. Like, I mean, obviously it has been leaking a little, and I was monitoring it. Like, it was weird. Like, there was a tiny leak there when I drove to Aoba-Ku, and I tightened up all the fittings and it stopped leaking. And then I checked it for like, 2 weeks after that, like constantly, like every time I drove it, I checked it and it wasn't leaking still. So I kind of was like, oh, it's fixed. But then it came back. So always double check everything. So that's the only leak we've had since all the modifications we've done to the car. So anyways, I think with that, we're gonna wrap up this video. Okay, so there we have it. We managed to fix that oil leak before it became a really nasty problem while I was driving on the highway or at a track event or anything like that. It's definitely going to make me feel safer to drive this, that's for sure. But yeah, just I guess a word of caution or advice for you guys is, after you do any modifications or anything like that to your engine, especially like a turbo swap, you definitely need to just be super conscious about leaks for at least like a couple months after. Even after the dyno tune, if no leaks happen on the dyno tune, they can still develop as like things are heating and cooling and heating and cooling, and things are expanding and contracting and all that type of stuff. Eventually a leak may occur. And like we saw with that oil filter block, it was sealed totally fine. After I tightened it at Aoba-Ku, it wasn't leaking anymore, but it was just that pinched part of the O-ring. After a bit of time, I guess, of heating and cooling, the tiny little bit of it that was sealing finally broke. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful. I know this video was kind of a little bit all over the place with the Diff oil catch can and then this. Kind of related, I guess, but yeah. Anyways, thanks heaps for watching as always, guys. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to send me stuff in the mail, PO box is down in the description. Join the Discord so you can keep an eye out for live streams and when new videos come out and early releases and stuff like that. And as always, guys, have a good one, and I'll catch you later. Ja mata ne.